Wake up and be amazing and grab your Daily Danish. Hey, I'm Trainer Dane, where my mission is to educate, motivate, and empower you to lifelong independent living. Hey, if you're joining me now, do me a favor. Hit hashtag live. Coming back and checking it out. Thank you so much. Hit hashtag replay. So the question is, who am I and what's my why? It's funny. I just usually dig right in. I just tell you what I'm going to do and I ask you to do something. But really, how did I get here? Then I'll share my why. So I'm the product of a mixed marriage, of religion, not race. I was raised Catholic by a Jewish mother. Let me tell you again, I was raised Catholic by a Jewish mother, and I went to a Lutheran university. So I've been trying to find my way for a long, long time. My buddies tell me I have more guilt in me when I wake up each and every day because of my background. But you know what? Maybe that's true. It doesn't matter. I've chosen to live life with a big smile on my face, to dream big, dream often, and dream out loud. I'm also the product of dreamers, believers, and doers. My dad went back to school to be a physician at 35 years old. I was in third grade. I watched him graduate and cross the stage in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania when I was going into eighth grade. I sat at the top of the Philharmonic in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania with my granddad and my three sisters, and I watched my dad live his dream because as little kids, all they would tell me is someday, someday, someday. My dad and my mom emulated the fact that you put people first and the mission, your dream, will ultimately come because of that. Take care of people and the mission will take care of itself. Now, my dad was driven, my mom was driven, maybe crazy by 4 kids and basically being a single mom while his dad was going to school, doing his internship and doing his residency and then moonlighting so they'd get their first new car or that swimming pool they always told us they were going to get. By the way, they didn't get it until they had their grandchildren. So my children got to be the benefactors of the fact that money was better and life was financially better. But as I watched my father and I watched him put on weight and I watched his physical health become diminished, it really drove me to do what I do today. About 6 years ago, and I was doing this long before I lost my dad 6 years ago, from really complications of being morbidly obese. Because he was smart, he was driven, but food was his drug of choice. But what I heard him tell patients, what I heard him tell me, is I was going to school, I have a graduate degree in exercise science for whatever that's worth. But really my mission and my dream and my sight to help and empower you and really empower women to go on to the next part of life using fitness as a cornerstone to change was through Dad, where he would say that there is no diet for a sedentary lifestyle. But what I also learned from my dad was really it starts between your ears first. So as I watched my dad diminish, as I raised my own children, and now I'm a father of 3, I'm a stepfather of 2, so I've got kids between 32 and 18, I have grandkids between 7 and 4, I've got my third wife, she'll be my last wife, because I tell her every single time I didn't get married again, to get married again. But what I do know, and what drives me to cure chronic disease every single day and spread positivity, what drives me every day is to cure chronic disease and spread positivity is it starts with a mindset. I use fitness as a cornerstone for change. Move more today than yesterday because I can quantify it. And it's from being an athlete, being coached, being coachable, being around great men and great women, including my parents, including my grandparents, who invested in me, who delved into who I am, what I am, and always had a long-term vision. Even sitting at my parents' coffee table, actually their little table, they had this really small kitchen in Philadelphia. They had this big, beautiful house, but their kitchen actually was really small. But that small kitchen with 4 tables and chairs was where we learned and we listened. And my grandparents, my aunts and uncles that weren't biologically my aunts and uncles, spread their wisdom, their hopes and joys for the future to make it a better place. It's what I've tried to do with my kids and now my grandkids. And each and every day, here are the top 3 things we're going to learn and teach. And it's really through years and years and trial and tribulations. And maybe it's from falling down and getting up and being divorced after 23 years and being completely lost. And one day sitting in the Presidio in San Francisco on a concrete bench at the National Cemetery overlooking the Golden Gate Bridge with tears running down my face. And whether it was my dad or whether it was God, they said, go be bold and amazing. And this is what you're going to do. You're going to spread positivity. You're going to cure chronic disease. They didn't tell me how I was going to do it. So now about 10 years later, I've developed a mission to educate, motivate, and empower you to lifelong independent living. My specialty being empty nester moms. Why? Because they don't look or feel like they did 20 years ago. They've been Mrs. Jones. They've been Billy's mommy. Now that Billy's grown up, perhaps her husband or their significant other has never really stopped their career, but their career was put at a halt because they were really raising the kids. Now they know there's years ahead of them, but they're not sure how to do it. And after one day standing in my studio years ago and asking Tammy what her dreams were, and her back was to me with tears rolling down her face, and I came around the front, she looked up. She goes, I don't know what you're talking about, but she forgot how to dream. She forgot how to dream. And I had a reminder on that day that dreams don't have an expiration date. That dream big, dream often, and dream out loud. And that's what we get to do together. And each and every day when I start the morning, I look up to the heavens and I thank my dad for being who he was. He wasn't my biological father. He's the only father I ever knew because he came into my life when I was only months old. He loved me like I was his only son, and I was his only son. And my mom said ultimately he married her so he could love me. And I want to pour that same love into you every day. Ultimately, my coaching style is relational. We're going to get to build relationships. It's going to be professional. And I'm not your dad. I'm not your brother. I'm not your uncle. And I'm not your cousin. And I call bullshit. But at the end of the day, I get to cure chronic disease, spread positivity, help you build confidence, and let you go live the life you have while you build the life of your dreams. Now, here are your 2 Trainer Dane challenges for today. And I would love it, absolutely love it, if at the bottom of here in Light Beamers, if you would tell me you did it. Number 1, I want you to text somebody or call somebody. And I say the only people they're going to call is if they're over 40 years old. So that would be me. I want you to go tell somebody you love them, and never assume they know. And your next challenge is to get up, get out, and get moving. If you're in upstate New York and it's cold as hell, you're in Buffalo, New York, you're in Maine, you know what? There are department stores. There are Home Depots and Lowe's, and those all are air-conditioned, heated, and controlled, so you don't have to get in the elements. Nobody said you have to go and put your plywood on the cart first and then go to the checkout. You can walk around there for 5 minutes to 10 minutes. You can go to the grocery store for 5 to 10 minutes without putting anything in your cart. So again, your Trainer Dane challenge to help me help you spread sunshine, spread delight, wake up and be amazing, cure chronic disease, spread positivity, and ultimately make you feel better about the you that you are, because there's only one of you, there'll ever be one of you, and it makes you pretty damn special. Text or call somebody today. Tell them you love them, never assume they know, and get up, get out, and get moving for at least 1 minute today. Now y'all go be amazing.